She stood trembling behind the counter, her hands gripping the tray so tight her knuckles turned white. The man in the black leather jacket, the one everyone in town whispered about, was sitting at his usual booth, his tattooed arms crossed, eyes cold but calm. When she leaned closer to serve his coffee, her voice barely broke above a whisper. "He won't stop following me," she said, her eyes darting to the window. What happened next stunned everyone in that diner, and by the end of the night, no one ever looked at the Hell's Angel the same way again. Rain hammered the tin roof of Maggie's roadside diner, the kind of place where truckers, bikers, and lonely travelers stopped to breathe. Inside, the scent of bacon grease and burnt coffee hung in the air. Behind the counter worked Emily Dawson, a 23-year-old waitress who always smiled, no matter how hard life got. Her uniform was faded, her shoes were worn, and her tired eyes hinted at 1,000 sleepless nights. Emily wasn't just serving food, she was surviving. Her father had passed away when she was 16, and her mother's medical bills piled high. So Emily worked double shifts to keep their tiny apartment above the diner. Her kindness made her loved by regulars, but she also caught unwanted attention. Every evening, a man named Carl, a local mechanic, sat near the corner booth watching her, too closely. He'd make small comments, leave strange notes, and once followed her home in his pickup truck. She told her boss, but he shrugged it off. "He's harmless," he said. "Just ignore him." But ignoring fear doesn't make it disappear. It only makes it grow. On that rainy Friday night, Emily noticed Carl again through the glass. His truck was parked under the flickering streetlight. He wasn't eating, he wasn't moving, he was just watching. Her hands trembled as she filled another coffee cup. That's when Jake Turner, known by his patch name Stone, walked in. He was a member of the Hell's Angels, the kind of man whose presence silenced a room. Tall, broad-shouldered, with a beard peppered by grey and tattoos that told stories of fights, loyalty, and brotherhood. Most people feared him, but Emily didn't. He always sat in the same booth, ordered the same black coffee, and tipped generously. He never said much, but when he did, his voice carried a strange gentleness, the kind that came from a man who'd seen too much of life's cruelty. As Emily poured his coffee, she couldn't stop glancing at the window. That's when Jake noticed her shaking hand. "You all right, darling?" he asked quietly. Her lips trembled. "He won't stop following me," she whispered, barely audible. Jake's eyes shifted toward the parking lot, his gaze locked on the old pickup truck under the streetlight. "Him?" Emily nodded. When Jake walked back in, rain dripping from his jacket, he simply sat down again. "He won't bother you tonight," he said. Emily's eyes filled with tears. For the first time in weeks she felt safe. But that night was just the beginning. Because the man in the truck wasn't done, and neither was Jake. The next few days were quiet. Emily began to smile again, laughing with customers, refilling cups, and humming along with the radio. But peace, she learned, doesn't last long when fear still knows your name. It was closing time on Tuesday when she noticed something strange. A note had been slipped under the diner's door. Her name was written in thick black ink. She unfolded it with trembling fingers. "You think he can protect you forever? You're mine, Emily." Her breath caught. She looked outside. The parking lot was empty. Jake wasn't there tonight. Panic surged through her chest as she locked the door and called the sheriff's office, but the dispatcher said they'd send someone in the morning. Morning wouldn't come soon enough. That night, Emily barely slept. Every sound outside made her flinch. Around midnight, a motorcycle's rumble broke through the silence. She looked out her window. Jake was there, sitting on his bike, headlight glowing in the dark. He didn't say a word. He was just there, guarding. The next morning, she brought him coffee to thank him. "You don't have to do this," she said softly. Jake's eyes flicked toward Emily. "Yeah," he said, "but that's the problem with this world. Too many people don't." Months passed. Emily slowly rebuilt her peace. The diner felt warm again. Jake still stopped by for his coffee, though he smiled more now. One morning she brought him a small piece of paper. It was a drawing, his motorcycle under the words, "My guardian angel." Jake looked at it for a long moment. "Angel, huh?" he murmured. "Never thought I'd hear that word tied to me again." Emily smiled. "Maybe it's time people saw who you really are." As he rode off that day, the sun broke through the clouds, shining across the diner's old sign. Emily stood at the window, whispering a quiet thank you to the man who looked like a devil but acted like an angel. Sometimes, the people we fear are the ones sent to protect us. Kindness and courage come in unexpected forms. A waitress with a trembling voice, and a biker with a haunted past. If you believe that even the toughest hearts can hold the deepest compassion, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Storysphere, because every story we tell reminds us that heroes aren't born. They're found in the moments we need them most.